Video game movies don't exactly have the best reputations. Despite the popularity of the franchise and the high-profile actors signed on to play the major roles, practically every single adaptation is a disaster of monumental proportions. Many miss the point of the game they are based on and end up being only loosely connected with them. As a general rule of thumb, if you see a film that is based on a game, it is best to avoid it completely. Here are the 10 video game movies that have failed and served as the disaster of the opportunity. Welcome to The Ardent Blogger, a channel for all the curiosity lovers who want to know something different every day. Today, we are back with an amazing video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you are missing out a lot. Number 10. Tekken. Hollywood seems obsessed with the idea of adapting fighting games, despite the fact that they are probably the least well-suited to become movies. That's because they rarely have a proper narrative, so there is no story to adapt. While Tekken did have some exciting fight scenes, it rarely felt like it was part of the franchise and was even completely dismissed by the series creator. Number 9. Doom. There is no denying that Doom can be an enjoyable watch. The over-the-top action and banter between Dwayne Johnson and the rest of the cast is casual fun. However, it completely fails to recreate any of what makes the Doom games so good. It puts the emphasis on survival horror rather than on the grotesque demons and exploration elements central to the series. It even gets rid of the hell elements entirely, making the enemies mutated monsters rather than part of a demonic horde. Number 8. Warcraft. Nothing in Warcraft made it seem like those who made it ever played the MMO. All story and lore points have nothing to do with the actual game, while many of the races from the series are not present in the films. There is no depth or the feeling of being part of a huge world that the series is known for in the film. Number 7. Alone in the Dark. Most of the Alone in the Dark games have achieved their scares through building up a tense atmosphere and taking the player through a series of unexpected plot twists. The 2005 film failed to do any of that, abandoning the creepy Lovecraftian themes for a more action-oriented story that was neither frightening nor interesting. Number 6. Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed had the potential to launch a series of interconnected movies. Yet, it ruins this chance completely to the point that the movie was just a boring action film that had little to do with the actual games. Rather than showing famous historical locations and figures, it instead takes place in a nondescript period that does not engage the viewer like the franchise usually does. Number 5. Hitman, Agent 47. The Hitman series has always been about stealthily taking out enemies, using meticulously planned methods to ensure you can get away with the crime without anyone catching you in the act. Hitman, Agent 47 abandoned this and instead went all guns blazing. It was an explosive action movie that felt nothing like a Hitman adaptation should. Number 4. BloodRayne. There was a lot of potential for a distinctive vampire movie with this BloodRayne adaptation. The movie is simply not able to decide what it wants to be and suffers because of it. At times, it tries to be a serious horror film, but at other moments, it attempts to be a funny and silly affair. It all culminates in an end result that just is not engaging in any way. Number 3. Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. Without the character names, it would be pretty much impossible to tell this was even a Street Fighter movie. There is none of the strong color or visual style that the franchise always displays. Along with a plot that has nothing to do with any of the games and a series of bizarre casting decisions, this is certainly one film to avoid at all costs. Number 2. House of the Dead. The House of the Dead games are not known for their story. They are pretty much action shooters that rely on jump scares and hordes of undead enemies to keep the plot moving forward. The fact that the 2003 House of the Dead movie seemed to forget all this in exchange for a nonsensical plot meant that it would have been better off disassociating itself from the franchise. Number 1. Super Mario Bros. Other than the fact that the Super Mario Bros. Movie features characters taken from the famous Nintendo series, it would be impossible to tell that this was a video game adaptation. The plot is so divorced from anything else in the franchise that it makes you wonder why the filmmakers even wanted to make a Mario game in the first place. Even worse, though, is the gritty art style that is the exact opposite of the game's colorful approach. We are glad you have made till the end. We have handpicked the videos which we recommend you watch next. Feel free to talk to us on our social media channels or on our website theardentblogger.com about any recommendations or suggestions.